Good evening and welcome to the iceHQ Ice Rink in a Reservoir, Melbourne, Australia on Warranjoy, Woiwurrung traditional land for the CCM National Women's Tournament T2 matchup between the Adelaide Shifty Lizards in the white with orange and purple and the Central Coast Stingrays in the green. Stingrays have already played one game so far this evening, and tournament legend Annie Bartlett has a challenge. She's already got 4 penalty minutes and she's looking at winning the Pims throughout the series, and we expect that she probably will. But regardless, Adelaide Shifty Lizards, we haven't seen them here before at this tournament, as the CCM National Women's Tournament has in its 3rd season, and we've now got 10 teams competing across 2 divisions. Previously it was 6 teams competing in the one, so we're enormously pleased to be able to bring the tournament to you. We are also extraordinarily fortunate this evening. One of our referees is the living legend of Australian women's ice hockey, and in fact Australian ice hockey full stop, and that is none other than Lucy Parrington, current captain of the Melbourne Ducks, but also a lady who has done just about everything that can be done in this sport, and is a great leader and a great ambassador. And here she is on a Friday night at 10 o'clock refereeing this tournament, so we're very pleased to be able to have Lucy Parrington here with us, and you can bet your bottom dollar nothing will get past her. There's no little dirty tricks that she doesn't know for sure about this game, and we're very fortunate to have Lucy here with us tonight. It should be an interesting little tussle. The Stingrays on their 2nd game. They played the 1st game of the tournament way back at 5 o'clock, so they've had 4 hours to sit around and get cold. Players for them to watch out for in particular is Diamantina Dowell, who was excellent, Annie Bartlett, who we know is fierce, and also Tanya Crawley. We're underway now, puck dropped as the puck is fired away. Crawley straight away, sorry, Al Giles putting in some pressure straight away for the Stingrays. But breaking it out with some force there was Hayley Hill, who looks strong. Tries to steal the puck away from Dowell as the Shifty Lizards break the puck down the other end. Shifty Lizards in the white as they play the puck around the back of the net. In the net for the Stingrays is Guinevere Lunt, a Victorian player, as a fill-in. As the Shifty Lizards will have to go back and pick the puck up. Tanovska goes around the back of the net, being pressed tightly though by Tess Wilkinson, who scored some great goals over last season. Beautiful pressure there through the defensive zone by Tanya Crawley, who is playing for the Stingrays, and she puts herself into the corner, tries to get onto a forehand, is pushed wide, it just dribbles across the front, picked up there by Kellett in the net, who just deflected it away. Now the Lizards come back the other way with some speed, and that's on the stick of Pryor, who hit the brakes and tried to create an angle. Puck fired across the front of the net, watching that one go harmlessly into the corner. It's shoveled backwards in by Baird, who puts the puck across the back of the net. Watched there by Lunt. Now it's Dowell who tries to bring it out, goes cross ice, tried to get onto the stick of Sarah Darcy, but having to race back now to clean it up. Trapolino, who will enforce the icing. If you're not familiar with the rule of icing, if you play the puck from your side of the rink, crosses the red line in the middle, and crosses the goal line at the other end without anyone else touching it. There's some more nuance to it, but that's the gist of it. You're brought back for a defensive zone face-off. Now, the sting in the tail for most recreational league players is maybe they're not aware of it. You're not allowed to get a change. So a defensive zone face-off, normally a pretty good counter-attacking option. Great, a lot of goals get scored from D-zone face-offs, but if you're tired, it's a lot harder. Crawley lining up to take the face-off for the Stingrays against Crafter. Crawley wins the face-off. She's pretty good at them. She's a former Melbourne Duck throughout their early games. But, not in the squad at the moment, but great centre and a great face-off winner as teams now getting changes. The shift typically 45 seconds or so is a good one. Any much longer than that, you start to get too tired and you can't sprint. So here come the Stingrays. They just dispossessed there was Van Rooyen. And it's dumped all the way back. And another icing for the Shifty Lizards. They'll be brought back for their first defensive zone face-off. 12 minutes to play in the first. 1 shot apiece on the net. Nothing yet to trouble the scorers. And the Stingrays get to choose which side they want to take the face-off from. Often the sender will put it onto their forehand and try and turn the face-off into a shot on the net. It's not a bad option if you can do it. They choose not to on this occasion. Taking the face off, looks like Jones for the Stingrays. That's won there nicely by Hill, who pushed it into the corner. Nice defensive play there. It's a good way to do it. But it'll be picked up by the Stingrays as they circle around, just using a bit of puck control and body work there on the stick there of Cole Clark. And the shot's fired, but it's gobbled up by Kellett in the net for the Shifty Lizards. Oh, another shot on the net. So nice top-down view here from the replay. Not troubled by that one. It didn't have much on it. Still, the save had to be made. Kellett had to do it, or it would have gone in. Face off this time won again by the Shifty Lizards. And that was Pryor who put it back behind her. But Tess Wilkinson manages to get round 1 and 2, but leaves the puck behind on the last instance as the Shifty Lizards clean it out of the net. Nice work there indeed by Trapolino, who we've seen here before at this tournament. Wilkinson goes in to put some pressure on. And the puck now onto the stick of Dowell, who took a shot. Dowell unrewarded earlier on in the game they played against the Perth team, who won 3-2 over them. Boxker taking the face off now for the Stingrays. Not a clear win to anyone, but the Lizards will take that as they rim it around the puck through Jagged, who does the right thing, and they clear the puck out of the zone. It gets past the stick of Elwood. Nice little pivot there by Dowell, tried to make some space. There's a bit of room, it's 3-on-3. Dowell crosses the line, flings the puck wide of the net. Just watching it go past was Kellett, who did wave the glove around but didn't need to get to it. As the Lizards look to break it out. And they do. It's onto the stick now of Hill, who was dispossessed. Nice work there again by Dowell, who just dumped it in, forcing the Lizards to have to go back and reset. They break the puck out. They can't clear the zone though. It's chipped in. Sarah Darcy got onto it, but now they reverse the puck out. Darcy offside. Crawley not aware of the fact and will be pinged by the referee there again in Lucy Parrington, who was perfectly positioned and looking straight down the blue line. No surprises there. Face off this time won by a chip through by Crawley, who tried to get it past everyone and does. Gets the puck into the corner. She had Darcy in the slot if she'd get the puck to her, but couldn't quite. Darcy loose in the slot, unmarked. Two Stingrays floating around in the slot unmarked as the Lizards bury themselves behind the line, a bit of puck chasing. Got to get the puck out of the zone quickly. Crawley now just tried to get it around, just loses a footing in the process as Hill will try and clear the puck out, but gets caught and tangled up. Little backhand there fired in by Owen, forcing Tori Kellett to make yet another save. Some good early pressure so far by the Stingrays. They've got 4 shots on the net and a lot of pressure being piled up on Tori Kellett. This time the puck comes back to Bartlett, who winds, shoots. Doesn't get past the pressure though. It was a nice piece of stick work by Crafter, who shut that one down and stopped it. She would have been a bit disappointed in that one, Bartlett. She wanted to really fire the cannon. She's on a mission this tournament. She told me earlier she wants a goal and a fight. Well, the fight's the easy one. She puts the puck in looking for Crawley. Goes across the front. A lot of pressure there still on Kellett, but it's not going. Bartlett creeps in and activates, calling for the puck. They don't pass it to her. It goes behind the back of the net though. Crawley was there. So too Darcy, but the Lizards will clear it out. They've got a bit of room. Just a little bit casual. Gets up to Bartlett, who tries to wind. It gets through almost everyone. She was under a lot of pressure, surrounded by 3 bodies. And the puck comes blasting back down the other way. Bartlett gets there first. Been on the ice for quite a long time now as the Stingrays try to get some changes. Pass comes across to Trapolino, who has a lot of time and space. It's a cross-ice pass to her. Tries to get across, but leaves the puck behind. And it's in the corner now as the Lizards look to set up. They've got Manning calling for the puck in the slot unmarked. Aware of the threat now. The Stingrays, who see it and chip the puck out of the zone, and it's out. Not quite able to get there in time was Hill. Now just flicking the puck across to a D partner there was Dowell, who didn't have much room to move, but probably had more time than she realised. And now The Stingrays clear the puck out of the zone, but racing back in a hurry to clean it up was Fryer. But it makes it up to Jones's feet, who just fumbles it a little bit, couldn't get control of it as it was stolen by Trapolino. Now Dowell has the puck, looks to clear it up ice. Can't get it out of the zone yet. Through sheer force of will, manages to do it though. Dowell now gets across on the forehand. Winds, shoots, it goes high over the top. Watched there by Kellett. Didn't have to touch it, it went a foot over the top of the net. Just pushing it in there, Dowell gets another chance. Runs into and shrugged off by Trapolino, who made it look easy. Elwood will just dump it in as the Stingrays have to reset. Not an awful lot there on the clearance by the Lizards. They managed to clear the puck out of the zone though, and then some industrious work there by Hill. But we have an offside, and it was Manning who was just trapped, I think. And so we will reset just outside the defensive zone for the Stingrays. 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the first. 0-all. 4 shots on the net for the Stingrays, 1 to the Lizards. The Lizards just have upped the tempo in the last minute or two. Wilkinson tries to go and put some pressure on the movement though, and shuts that one down, forcing the play under pressure. And now Elwood will clear it out around the back of the net. Doesn't get it up past, but they just make it in the end. Gets the puck across to Boxker, who finds Wilkinson. Wilkinson pauses, tries to buy some time, just tries to chip the puck around everyone as they're still trapped, and in the end leaves the puck behind, and it gets onto the stick there of Gunn. Gunn clears it out, racing fast for the puck, and getting there first is Crafter, I think that was. In the end denied by Lunt. It was a good chance for the Stingrays. Tell a lie, that was Pryor who made that one. Puck dumped in deep, and it ends up now on the stick of Dowell, who has a little bit of time, pauses behind the net, tried to clear the puck up, got it as far as Gillies, who dumped it in deep, and we'll have another icing, and the Stingrays being called back out on the ice. You're not allowed to change on the icing, so they will be a little bit tired. Lizards fresh legs, they get them on. Crafter goes in to take the face off for the Lizards. He's facing off there against, wins that face off, goes into the slot, and Lunt will make that one safe. It's a good option for a centre to turn that face off into a shot on the net. You either get a reset, you get another chance. Sometimes you get a loose rebound, and sometimes you score a goal. It's pretty rare, but it certainly does happen. An attacking zone face-off, not generally a particularly good scoring option. So your defence is already back there and organised. He's trying to get another face-off forward win there. He's Crafter. This time it's the Central Coast Stingrays who get it. Crafter goes back to fix it up though, but is robbed by Crawley. Crawley tries to get around one, does, leaves the puck behind. She's got Darcy wide, Crawley's loose in the slot. Puck comes across, save made Kellett. Crawley there diving to try and keep it under pressure as Darcy tried to chip it back in. Activating is Bartlett. Comes in with speed. Couldn't quite keep it in though as the puck leaves the zone. Just got past the stick there of Darcy as the Stingrays look to reset. Go through the neutral zone there on Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen runs into her own teammate and just about flattens her from behind. As now they come back the other way. And it's the Stingrays there in Fryer. The Fryer runs into trouble. They clear the puck out of the zone now. This time it's with speed on the stick of Darcy. Darcy gets across onto her forehand, gets a shot, but into the midsection of Kellett, who to nice positional save. Good work there by Darcy though to make the opportunity. Goes back now into the corner to be picked up by Trapolino. Trapolino can't get it past Crawley, and now they go back around the back of the net, and it's Owen who put the forechecking pressure on to just disrupt the movement, and all they can do is dump the puck down the other end for another icing. And it'll be brought back into the defensive zone for a Shifty Lizards defensive face-off. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the first of the last game of this evening. This is game 6 for this tournament. The third game of the T2 level. It's called T2 because it's a Tier 2 women's competition. Tier 1 being the Australian Women's Ice Hockey League. So these are players who aren't quite there. It's a big step up to Dowell flings it in, but it hits the feet of Coates, who kept it out. It might have stung a little. Now racing over to pick it up, Trapolino. Trapolino tried to do something with it, but ends up behind their own net. As a little bit of an awkward angle getting tangled up. Now this Feisty Lizards, the Shifty Lizards try to get it out. Al flings it back in. It was just waiting there for Efimov to get back on side. Sorry, Jones had to get back on side. Jones goes back in on forechecking pressure. They keep it in, the Central Coast. They fling it across the front of the net there. Nice work by Cole Clark. But movement out now with speed. Here comes Hill. Hill had players lined up across, found Manning. Manning does a bit of puck protection, gets around one, but leaves a puck behind. It was loose in the slot, but no one wanted it enough. And now diving into the corner, Manning. Manning tries to put it across the front, but again runs into trouble. Trouble in a big green jersey, that is, as they battle away in front of the slot. And we're going to have a whistle. And it's a delayed penalty on the Central Coast. And this time it's not Annie Bartlett. Sorry, Annie, you don't get the 2 minutes this time. It's Dowell who will be having to sit. Now, that's a problem for the Stingrays. Dowell, one of their better defenders. With 30 seconds to go, though, we'll just get this face-off before the buzzer will ring. So the Shifty Lizards will almost definitely be starting the next period on the power play. Only 15 seconds to play. The puck's loose in the slot, though. But the Central Coast managed to clear the puck out. 8 seconds to play on the period. It's racing in now. Boxer tries to put some pressure on. It's going to just about do it as a puck is dumped, but it's not going to matter because that will be the siren for the end of the first. So at the end of the first period, Dowell is sitting a penalty for 1 minute and 37 seconds of the next period. And we have no goals scored by either team. So good pressure. Corey Khaled had to make a couple of pretty good saves, some inventive and constructive play in particular by Tanya Crawley, who created some good opportunities. But so too, Crystal Manning has been effective for the Shifty Lizards. And we've seen a lot of good play too by Hayley Hill, who's been quite effective as well. And as yet, no penalties to Annie Bartlett, who is on a mission. And we're not quite sure what the mission is, but it will keep us going throughout the evening. You get a 1 minute break between periods. And then 7 shots on the net. So the penalty on Diamantina Dowell. That's the only one we've had so far for this game. The siren rings will be underway very shortly for the second of 3 periods. This is the tricky one when the teams are on opposite sides to their benches. It does make changes a little harder. You tend to find more changing errors made in the third. Sorry, in the second. Get there eventually. And Lunt has had a big night in the net for the Stingrays, but it hasn't been particularly tested so far. Just the 3 shots on there, but one of them was a pretty decent save. A good chance for the Shifty Lizards as they reset to get themselves underway. Again, the Central Coast Stingrays starting a player short, and the Shifty Lizards are electing to start 2 players short. You can have 5 on the ice if you want. Out they go. And we resume with 1 minute and 35 seconds to play on the Dowell penalty. As the Shifty Lizards set up behind the net, some sort of a set play going on. They move up the ice now, trying to get some speed. As flying round to try and create something and try and get a shot away there was Crafter, but denied in the end by some nice defensive work by the Central Coast. Did a good job of occupying the slot. You can do all the fancy stuff, but you've got to get to a high percentage scoring position, and it's stolen there by Boxka, who will try and clear the puck out, but has to go behind the net instead. The shot will be taken. Lunt makes the save. Lunt makes 2. Lunt gobbles it up. So good pressure there in front of the net by the Shifty Lizards. In particular there, it was Morello and Pryor creating some trouble. 42 seconds to go on the Dowell penalty. A couple of shots there by the Lizards on Lunt, forcing her to work. Bartlett on the ice now as well for the Central Coast. Puck is cleared out of the zone, not quite able to keep it in there was Trapolino. Has to go back and reset. But Crafter calling for it on the far side. They dump it in, but only gets as far as Bartlett, who just chips it out, but can't get it out of the zone. Not quite enough on the puck. Shot fired. Lunt makes the save. Crawley cycling around behind the back of the net, trying to do something to get it out of the zone, and this time gets the puck out cleanly. And we are back to full strength. Back on the ice is Dowell as Crawley gets some room. Crawley gets onto the forehand and shoots, but the pad is in the way there by Kellett, who stops that one. And we are still 0-0 with 13 minutes to play in the second. A good chance there for Crawley, just couldn't quite finish it off. Losing side of the puck, Bartlett comes in to put some pressure on, as flying in was Janowska. Puck goes across through the front of the net, right through everyone's feet, including Dowell, who missed that one. Puck leaves the zone, though, couldn't quite keep it in. It was Cash. But now racing back to tidy up the mess is Janowska for the Shifty Lizards, who puts it around the back of the net. They clear it out, but it's still in the zone. Central Coast with a chance now, tried to get it across. Crawley was there, but it went past her. Dowell blows a tyre and racing back now to pick it up Darcy, who has Elwood with her as well. Goes round behind the back of the net, tries to clear it up, doesn't get it past the forecheck though. Nice work on the fence by Hill. Hill's tied up against the boards though, tries to put it into the slot. They fire across the back of the net ineffectively in the end, and it will be chipped out now by Dowell, who goes with some speed, tried to pick up the puck. Just couldn't quite get there in time. Dumps it in deep though. Now putting in pressure will be Jones, who goes in to apply some forechecking pressure on the Lizards. Double teaming on them there. They lose the puck, so everyone lost sight of it briefly. Now with a chance to chip the puck in, but it's just a bit of a tumbler. It doesn't make it through. Was Spallina. Spallina with a second chance. It chips it back, but doesn't get it any further in than the Lizards' defence. Now it's fired back in once more. Spallina with one more chance, lobs it. Goes around the back of the net. It's being watched. Kellett can't go and get it though. More chipping away in front of the net. It's battling for it was Cole Clark, but tied up by the Shifty Lizards defence. And that will stop that. See, that shot just went wide and was caught awkwardly behind the net. Just battling away in the front, Cole Clark, but enough Shifty Lizards back there to prevent the shot being effective. 11 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the second. Still 0-0. 6 shots for the Stingrays, 9 shots for the Lizards. Face off this time won by the Lizards, by the Stingrays. To get a shot over high, it was Wilkinson who tried to get one in. It's still loose in front of the slot, but it's cleared out now. Comes back as far as Van Rooyen, who's dispossessed, battling for it hard on the boards though. Goes deep into the corner. It'll be picked up by Boxker. Boxker looks to clear it up the boards. Can't though, it's stolen. Shifty Lizards, fancy play behind the net. But Lunt was there, and Lunt swallowed that one up and shut the play down. 10 minutes to play in the second. Face off this time won by the Central Coast. It goes back to Wilkinson, who cycles behind the back of the net. Bartlett just puts a bit of body in the way and says, "You're not getting through me." No fear of contact there, that's for sure. So battling away in the back corner, it's Van Rooyen who managed to clear the puck out. Firing it up the forward Boxer, but Boxer couldn't get it out of the zone. Picked up though Wilkinson now. Wilkinson has help. Wilkinson gets away on her own, having to force out and make the save there. Kellett though, brave but successful. Now coming back the other way with speed. Here come the Shifty Lizards. They've got 2-on-1 if they can get past the shoot. And it just went wide of the net. Lunt was pressured there, but it's picked up now by Baird, who plays it back to a D partner, Trapolino, who puts it up the boards, but only gets it as far as Wilkinson. Wilkinson gets round one, doesn't get round the poke though, but offside. No, not called on that one, was Gunn. Looked like it was offside, but Parrington better positioned. Shot fired was a nice one by Crafter, but Lunt was down and shut the gap, and there was no goal. And we're getting a penalty this time on Tess Wilkinson, who is not happy about it, for what looks like a high stick. Yeah, she's being done for high stick, so if your stick makes contact with another player's helmet, regardless of intent, you're doing 2 minutes. So Wilkinson will sit 2. Shifty Lizards get their second power play of the game. This time it's Dowell on the ice though, who circles around backwards and tries to chip the puck out of the zone. It does manage to get it past. Racing up to put some pressure on it, Darcy. As the Lizards chip it in deep. Trying to find the stick of West, but didn't quite get to her. Just fanning on the cross ice, didn't quite make the connection there, Crafter. And this time the Lizards dump it in, but it's only going to get as far as Dowell, who flings it up hard. It hits referee Lucy Parrington right in the hand. That would have hurt. And this time it's picked up by Crawley, who tries to turn the penalty into a power play, or at least a goal. She's got help there from Darcy, but it's flung in deep. Elwood flings it across ice. Brave, but successful on this occasion. As Diamantina, Dowell took the flick in at the net, forcing Kellett to make the save. No shots on the net so far on the power play for the Lizards. Just fanning on the shot due to a Crawley piece of stick work was Janovska. Crawley now coming back the other way, has a chance. Crawley gets onto the forehand, waits, goes backhand. Missed everything. Left her stick behind, has got tangled up. We're going to have a penalty. And that's going to be... It's going to be on another one of the Lizards. So they'll be very briefly... No, there'll be 4-on-4 briefly, and it's an interference call on Crafter, who will have to sit too. So a bit of a professional foul there. Had to do something getting in the way. Wasn't a bad choice there for Crafter. And we're 4-on-4 for about 5 seconds, and then Wilkinson will be back on behind the play. Wilkinson back on the ice. The penalty over now. Full strength for the Stingrays. And she elects to get a change. As the puck goes behind the net, as now the Shifty Lizards on the penalty kill. For their first penalty of the tournament. They dump the puck deep. It gets past everyone, racing back now to pick it up. Van Rooyen. Under pressure though, there's a forecheck coming in. Gets around the forecheck with a bit of fancy footwork. Bit risky though under the circumstances, but gets away with it. Van Rooyen now gets past 2 or 3. They're on the power play, the Stingrays. So they can afford to take a couple of extra risks, but not be too silly. Puck deep in the corner now as the Lizards look to clear it out. Hard rim around the edge, and they clear the zone nicely. That's going to run a lot of time off the clock as it goes all the way to the cafe end of the rink. Send the puck to Moe. No one wants to go there. Van Rooyen now finds herself in a familiar position, going back all the way as the Lizards get a change. Van Rooyen just tried to chip it in, looking there for the stick of Cole Clark, but it went past her, and it's flung back the other way and returned. 45 seconds to go on the Crafter penalty. As Van Rooyen now has another chance. Gets stuck behind the net. Plays the puck up the ice, but it's kept in by the Lizards. Very shifty indeed. But this time now it's picked up. Boxco has a bit of room. Finds some space. 3 in front of her. Nice defence by the Lizards. Takes a shot. Didn't have much on it. It's loose in the slot though. Picked up Hill. Hill has a little bit of time, but under pressure, just dawdled a little bit. Trying to be a bit fancy. It's a penalty kill. All you want to do is get the puck out of the zone. But still, it's running the clock down. Doesn't get the puck out, though. And now just tapped back in there by Gillies. Shot fired, but it goes just a smidge wide. Second chance there, but cleared around the back of the net. Just another second to go, and the penalty over now on Crafter, back to 5-on-5. But drifting in Boxco, who just lost possession briefly, will be picked up by Wilkinson, who looks up ice. Chips the puck up the boards. Avoids a bit of traffic, but it's gone deep. No icing the call. As the Shifty Lizards look to play it out from behind their own net under a lot of forechecking pressure there from Giles. Hand up on another penalty. And it looks like it's going to be on Wilkinson again, who is competing with Bartlett for the penalty cup. And Wilkinson will sit another 2. Only Bartlett's probably getting a bit cranky. She hasn't got the penalty minutes total anymore. She's now tied up with Wilkinson. And with 3 minutes and 56 seconds to go in the second, the Shifty Lizards with another power play. Diamantina Dowell tries to clear the puck out. Crawley clears it through, makes a bit of room. There's 2-on-1 now if they hurry going back the other way. Crawley gets past one. She's on her forehand. Oh, beautiful piece of defensive work there, though, by Keller, who came out and shut that one down. There's a piece of Detrius on the rink. It's a neck guard by the look of it. Highly recommend you get the ones that are built into your shirts. They're much better. They don't fall off and do that sort of stuff. As now Darcy has to go back and pick it up for the Stingrays. Battling with her as well, Elwood. They've collapsed down behind their lines. They look like the Maple Leafs on a penalty kill. How not to do it, but they get away with it. As Elwood tries to clear it out of the zone. Tangled up though, Darcy. Chance now for Crafter, but dispossessed. Sorry, Pryor was dispossessed. It comes across now. Gets the puck across to Jagged. Jagged backhands it in. Good work there though, Dowell, to deny the opportunity. Puck now goes through the top of the slot onto the stick of Jagged, who takes a shot. It gets caught in the top of the slot. Didn't have much on it. Chance now, and shot fired by Trapolino. Second chance, Trapolino, and they score on the power play. Trapolino gets a shot away. You see here on the replay, she gets one in. It bounces. She gets a second chance, and that time Trapolino tickles the twine on a power play goal. And it is 1-0 to the Shifty Lizards. Wilkinson paying the price for her indiscretion earlier. Won't be happy about that one, but you've got to keep your stick on the ice. You can see here on the replay, it was the second chance that just took Lunt by surprise. And so the Shifty Lizards up to a 1-goal lead with 2 minutes to go in the second. Pressure there by Owen. It's going to see a tripping penalty, I think. So the save made, but another penalty. This time it's on the Shifty Lizards, and they'll be sitting two for, I think, a trip. And heading over to the box is Lulu Cash, who will be sitting two. And it's for a trip. So this time the Central Coast Stingrays go to the power play. Can they get one back? Tie it all up with 1 minute and 25 seconds to go. It's flung into the side, a nice chance, but Lizards back there in numbers. Van Rooyen, though, gets around pressure as Fryer overcommitted a little bit. Van Rooyen now crosses the line, tries to get a shot away through traffic, but there's bodies in the way and it deflects off a skate. Now it comes back out. A chance for a shorty for the Lizards. It's getting onto the backhand, but just mishandling it there was Crafter. Had a good chance, but just outskated herself just a little bit as Bartlett gets tangled up with her. And now the Shifty Lizards, so the Central Coast Stingrays look to break it out. Skating up a little bit casually as Cole Clark tries to get around the pressure there of Crafter, and Crafter takes it off her. Nice work there by the Stingrays. It's picked up and blasted through by Fryer, who gets a shot. It goes wide. It's picked up now by Spellino, who tries to get it out. Stingrays in a little bit of trouble here on this penalty kill. Van Rooyen blew a tyre, is being pressed tightly. Now they have some room to make something happen. Van Rooyen now sees a lot of real estate, tries to get across, goes down the middle, leaves a puck behind, a nice poke check, but losing a footing there. Stingrays defence. It goes now behind there. They'll be on the stick of Crafter. Crafter tries to rim it around hard, and they do, but it hits the referee in the skate. That didn't help. Now Diamantina Dowell will go back. Just 30 seconds to go on the Craft penalty. Dowell looks up ice, sees a fair bit of real estate in front of her. We've got a whistle. And the whistle is the end of the period. So at the end of the second, it's the Shifty Lizards 1 to the Stingrays 0. Stingrays with 15 shots on the net, the Lizards with just a 9, but one of them went in. And that was Trapolino, who picked up a second effort goal off a rebound from a set of pads. Lunt was just taken a little bit by surprise by that one. But the Lizards will be starting the period on the penalty kill. 32 seconds to go on the Cash penalty. And Annie Bartlett yet to get a penalty in this game. So she's currently tied. There's 3 players in T2 tied with 4 penalty minutes so far. 2 of them are Central Coast Stingrays. One of them is Annie Bartlett, and the other one is Tess Wilkinson. Tess, not particularly familiar with the penalty box, but she's done 2 in this one. Will be just about underway in the third and final period. Can the Stingrays get one back? They went down 3-2 to the West Australian team. The last season they were called the Quackers, and this season they're the, what do they call themselves again? I should remember, the Honey Badgers, that's the one. And the Honey Badgers played earlier against the Reds and tied 1-1. So they're 1-1. As making way back into the penalty box is Lulu Cash, who's sitting for remaining 32 seconds. We'll be underway very shortly. Referee Lucy Parrington just having a quick look around, making sure everyone's happy. Drops the puck, we're underway. Face off there, won by Crafter. So bit of pressure there by Wilkinson trying to break up the attack as Melwood left it behind. Blasting through now with a bit of speed is Manning. Manning gets around one, goes deep into the corner. He's got Hill calling for it. Hill loose in the slot if they get the puck. Elwood there sees the threat and shuts that one down. Now they come back the other way, just 5 seconds to go on the penalty. They'll be full strength in a minute, the Lizards. But Dowell winds and shoots. It deflects off the glove of Kellett. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey, straight back on to the game. Lulu Cash, but Lulu goes over and extends the penalty by 10 seconds by skating over for a change. He's battling now in the corner, Giles. He goes to get some help, arrives, and we have another penalty, and it's another trip. And this time, it's going to be on Giles, who will be sitting two. The referee's being very strict on this at the moment. So now the Shifty Lizards have the power play. Underway very shortly. 13.5 minutes to play in the third and final. Lizards with a 1-goal lead and a power play. Giles having to sit for 2 or less. You'd like it to be 2. As the Lizards load up. It's on the forehand for their centre, who tries to get it across. Face-off though, one Crawley. Crawley, one of the best face-off players in the game. Let's see her lose too many, especially the ones that really matter. And now the Central Coast look to break the puck out, but a nice piece of poke stick work there by Baird, who just shut that one down. But they managed to clear the puck out of the zone. The Lizards, and it's Crawley now with room. She's flying down into the corner, trying to get into the slot to assist. Takes the shot. Just wide. Crawley had a good chance. Certainly put some pressure there on Kellett. Another chance, Crawley, but she's pushed deep into the corner. They are outnumbered, the Lizards. Elwood now just mishandles it a little bit, goes cross ice. Diamond Tenor Dowell dumps it back in, but it doesn't get past the work there of Hill. Hill looking for options, being pressed, puts the puck across the ice. No one from Lizards particularly wants it, giving Crawley an opportunity to nearly steal it. Now it gets caught up in the feet of Owen. And it's dumped down and away. It's picked up though by Dowell. Dowell tries to get across onto the forehand, winds and shoots. It was going high, and it's blocked out of the sky by Tori Kellett, who just says, I'll have that, but it was going to hit the backboards anyway. Nice work there by Dowell with everything except the high shot. And with 12 minutes to go in the third, 35 seconds to go still on the penalty, Stingrays are on the kill. It doesn't look like it. It looks like they're on the power play. The Lizards try to clear it up ice. The Lizards have the goal at the moment. Stingrays have outshot them roughly 2-1. Playing up the ice now, Trapolino tries to do something constructive. He's pressured though, has to turn around, make some space. Reverses the play around the other side. Just fanning on the clearance, so the Lizards can't get the puck out of the zone. They finally do, they chip it out. Gets onto the stick of Pryor. Pryor's pushed into the corner. Pryor takes a shot, it went round the back. She had Gunn waiting for her. Giles goes over to get a change, again extending the penalty by 10 seconds. They get it all sorted out in the end, the Stingrays. Puck goes across the top of the slot. No one there in particular. Shot fired, but goes wide behind the net. As the Lizards look to try and create a scoring option. Again, they need to score no goals to win this. Stingrays need 2. As now it's on the stick of Spallina, but Spallina pushed off the park. Just not enough strength as the Lizards just pushed her off. And just battling away Trapolino, but the puck in the end swept out. Trapalena manages to clear the puck out of the zone, only just, but good enough. And now it's on the stick of Pryor. Pryor shoots. Kick save made by Lunt was a good one. You'll see that one on the replay. That was a ripper. Lunt had to work hard to make that save. Now calling for it from a distance, Spallina. Can't get the puck up to her. She was free in the slot, free in central ice in the neutral zone. Now a chance, but it's cleared out of the zone by the Shifty Lizards. Bartlett will go over to try and get there first. And the referee's hand is up for a penalty. And it's not on Bartlett. In fact, Bartlett very slow to get back to her feet. Looks like the penalty is going to be on Jagged. Bartlett's not moving at the moment. Very slow to get back to her feet. It looks like she might have hit the boards awkwardly. There's the penalty on Coates. As Bartlett makes her way off the ice. Seems to be okay. Looks like she won't be taking any more part in this game. Helmet's off. Dowell now has a chance to wind, flings it high. And those high shots quite often ineffective. Every now and then they work. Dowell with another chance puts it in, but was being pressured a lot there by Fire, who did a good job of denying time and space. Dowell has to go back and get it, put it across to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen tries to get around the pressure, just left the puck behind, regathers. Passes it back to Dowell, who looks up ice. Wilkinson a little bit unhappy with some play there that occurred through the neutral zone, and Wilkinson will be sitting 2 for a high stick, so we will be 4-on-4 for about a minute or so, and Wilkinson now leading the penalty minutes with 6. So the competition within the competition, the game within the game. Tess Wilkinson now 6 penalty minutes. She's ahead on that metric anyway. Bartlett none, and not sure she'll rejoin this game. As now we are 4-on-4 for just under a minute. Lunt gobbles up the loose puck in the slot. The referee has blown the whistle. As it looked like Van Rooyen was trying to grab hold of it and do something aggressive with it, but that wasn't going to happen. Face off this time won again by the Coast. And that was Crawley, the face off maestro. Pass the puck up to her. It is 4-on-4. There's a fair bit of real estate. Nice clearance though by Jones, who did a good job. Sorry, not Jones, by Trapalena, who did a nice job on that one. Get the puck around to the aforementioned Trapalena, who looks up ice. Got movement there in Hill. Hill gets around Dowell. It's 2-on-1 if they can be quick about it. Hill gets onto the forehand, goes the pass across ice. It's a sneaky backhander. Wouldn't quite go though. Hill loose in the slot. But now coming back the other way, it's Darcy. Darso Van Rooyen, so he gets around 2. Gets around the third one, gets onto the forehand, shoots. It's loose in the slot. Second shot, scores. Van Rooyen ties it up for the Central Coast Stingrays. Just about on the power play too. It was just on the end of the penalty. It was briefly 4-on-4. See this one on the replay. Van Rooyen just goes back, regathers, and has a second chance on it. And buries that one. And so we are 1 goal apiece with 6 minutes and 50 seconds to go. And Wilkinson still in the penalty box. So the Stingrays still on the penalty kill. Interesting question there as to whether or not they were on the Lizards were on the kill or not there, but it doesn't make any difference. Wilkinson will be back out in a couple of seconds as the Lizards look to regather the lead if they can. Crafter now circling around. Wilkinson back on the ice. There's a shot fired and they score. Wilkinson straight back on the ice, but it didn't help as the Lizards take it back out to a 1-goal lead. It's a nice shot from a distance. I think that was Maddie Coates who got that one. But high blocker side, a difficult save there for Lunt. And then Weenan over the top of a blocker. And so the Shifty Lizards back out to a 1-goal lead with just over 5 minutes to play. Face-off won by Boxker for the Central Coast. Back to Diamantina, who just fumbles the clearance a little bit under a lot of pressure. The Lizards have done a good job on the forecheck throughout this game. They've denied a lot of space to the Central Coast D, forcing them to make passes under pressure. Wilkinson skates back in to try and put some, retrieve the puck and get it out. The Central Coast will want to get this one back pretty quickly. They'd like to win this one. Of course they would. Wilkinson goes cross ice, gets intercepted, but luckily for them, they get away with it. Diamantina takes a shot, the puck bubbles off the front of Kellett, drops down and she gobbles it up and says, mine. Wilkinson was racing in to try and do something with that as well, but it's a nice shot there by Dowell. And we will reset for a defensive zone face-off. Central Coast, a little bit casual getting out for their change. They're tired. It is their second game of the evening and they had a long break. The face-off wizard is on the ice in the hands of Tanya Crawley. She wins it. Back to Elwood, who pushes into the slot. Not a lot on it. They clear the puck out of the zone. The Lizards dumping it back in hard was Dowell. So they all had to reset. They were caught offside, the Stingrays. Clearing the puck out of the zone now. The Lizards back up to Elwood, who looks across ice. Just a little bit of a backhand and finds Dowell, who chips a backhand but loses the puck. Now has a second chance. Gets past the first bit of pressure, but persistence rewarded by the Stingrays. Nice play there indeed by Crafter, who wouldn't give up on that one. And now back to Dowell, though. Dowell with a little bit of room, tried to take a shot away. Gives Crafter a little bit of shove for good measure. Not very happy about it, but that's the way it goes. Puck across into the slot. Elwood has to get there first. Racing in to try and sort it out was Crafter, though, who created some chance. Now it's cleared out of the zone, though, by Crawley, who just leaves the puck a little bit behind. She scored that earlier goal. Left the puck there for Owen, who loses it. The Lizards crashed into each other, and one of them very slow to get back to their feet. So that's a little bit of a collision there between, I think, Crafter and that was Manning, who a little slow to get up, but gets up in the end, seems to be undamaged. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to go, 1 goal the lead. We will have stop time in the last minute of the game with a 1-goal differential or less. And that works in the favour of the Stingrays in that occasion. Can't waste time. Taking the face off now. Won there nicely by the Lizards. It comes up to Bartlett back on the ice. She tried to put it in. She's got a mission to get another penalty minute. Wilkinson currently leading the penalty minutes competition. The game within the game. Bartlett activates in, tries to pick up the puck and blasts through, gets it. Bartlett gets onto a forehand. Puck's still loose in the slot. Has to cycle around as here come the Lizards back the other way with speed. Gets onto the stick there of Hill. Hill has room. Hill gets on to the forehand, goes wide, pushed wide. Nice work there, Van Rooyen to deny that opportunity. Bartlett now tries to pick the puck up, but is beaten to it by Fryer. Now out it comes. It's out of the zone. 2 minutes to play in the period. 2 minutes to play in the game. Chipping the puck up ice. Spallina just dispossessed though. Was taken there nicely by Fryer, who drives it in deep. But it'll be picked up in defence by Van Rooyen, who looks up ice. Sees a lot of real estate. I know she likes to have a skate. Gets around the first check. Gets around some stick work. Gets onto the forehand. Shoots. It's loose in the slot. No one wants it. Well, everyone wants it, but they can't get there. Still loose. It bobbles over the top. It's still loose again. Another shot fired in. Van Rooyen had another chance, but no one can bury it. There's just too many bodies in the way. And the referee will call time on that one. There's players sprawled around all over the place, but no goal the call. See, there's a loose puck on the replay, and we watch that one in slow motion. You'll see a fair bit going on. 1 minute and 20 seconds to play in the period, and indeed in the game. We might have called a timeout. No. Penalty shot, sorry. It's a penalty shot there. It's been awarded to Diamantina Dowell. So everyone leaves the ice. Unopposed shot in. Dowell comes in. Straight down the middle. Slowly winds. Leaves the puck behind. Has a second chance. Leaves the puck behind. No goal. You'll be disappointed in that one, Dowell. She's been very good throughout the tournament so far, but it's a pretty disappointing way to get a penalty shot. Not a lot of players practice them very often. 1 minute to go, we're into stop time. A golden opportunity there for the Stingrays. Just a little bit careless with the puck. All one of a penalty shot is put the puck on the net, make the goal, they have to make a save. Didn't happen that time. It's driven through, loose in the slot this time, behind the back of the net. Stingrays pretty keen to get this one if they can. Lizards look to clear it out of the zone. They've been outshot by about 9 shots throughout the game. Dowell just gives Gunn a bit of a shove in the back for good measure. Puck cleared out, back the other way. It's on the stick of Pryor, who drives in. Pryor tries to get across, forced onto the backhand, forced wide by Wilkinson, who pushed her out. Now back the other way, Boxker with room. It's 2-on-1 if they can get going quickly. She's got Wilkinson, who picks up the puck. It's on her backhand, tries to spin to the forehand. It won't quite go. Dowell has to pick it up and clear out of the way. Parrington had to move quickly as well to get clear of it. Wilkinson now with a chance, 16 seconds on the clock. Can they get one more shot on Wilkinson? Wines shoots. It just went wide of the toe. 9 seconds on the clock now. One more chance for the Stingrays. Wilkinson was in the slot. Can they get a shot away? Dowell now gets onto the backhand. She's going to run out of time. She shoots. It's plucked out of the sky, and that will do it. And at the end, the Shifty Lizards take that one out. 2-1. All the way to the finish, they fought that one. We will be back with you tomorrow. These teams will be playing. You can look at all the draws and times and so forth on Hockey Site. It's iceHQ.hockeysite, site with a Y, syte.com, or just search for the CCM National Women's Tournament. We will be back here tomorrow to bring you another 6 games. Hope you've enjoyed tonight's coverage. Thank you very much for being with us from both Adelaide and Central Coast. I hope you've enjoyed the show and your players are doing you proud. But it's a good night from us here at iceHQ, and we'll be back with you tomorrow.